Welcome to the Shop Jersey Shore podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mazuka, and today I'm here with my guest, Mark Case from GM Carpet Care. This podcast is brought to you by On Your Mark Designs. We're a digital marketing agency in Bayville, New Jersey, and we're here to help you find the best businesses and services to help you shop Jersey Shore. Please stay tuned for a giveaway at the end of the show. Wherever you're watching or listening, please subscribe and follow the show. We air a new episode every week. Thank you for joining me, Mark.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to talk about the business. Of course, everybody enjoys talking about themselves.
Well,
Okay.
we can't wait to hear about it. Please introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us who you are, tell us what your business is and what you do.
Okay. Mark Case, a family cleaning business, roughly since 1977, incorporated January of 78. And so, roughly 50 years in the business. The big thing I love about it is that we are a family based business. I was blessed with four sons, and all of them have gone into the business, helped out in the business, two of which are taking over the business now at this time. And over the years, just truly have loved settling in the Jersey Shore area and wound up serving Ocean and Monmouth counties originally. Now we do everything from pretty much Sandy Hook Lighthouse all the way to Cape May Lighthouse. So we're serving the entire Jersey Shore and just have that cleaning sensation in my blood since childhood, and definitely have been able to do it my whole life. And when you love what you're doing, it's you never feel like you've worked a day in your life. And I got to say, in 50 years, I'm still doing the same thing. I feel like I've never worked a single day in my life.
I love that. Lighthouse to lighthouse. That is a service area. Today, we're here to talk about GM Carpet Care. It's not just carpet cleaning. When you think about wall to wall carpets and things like that, you all do so much more.
That's really where I think it's great that the boys are taking over. And I say boys, they're 35-year-old men. So please understand, even though they're my boys, they're men, they know what they're doing and they've grown up their whole lives doing it. But I go back, to the 70s and 80s and 90s. At that time, I can remember we had carpeting on everything. We had carpeting on the walls, we had carpeting on the floors, we had carpeting on furniture. Carpeting was just the
Wow.
sensation of the time. And I loved it. It was the age. I think it's so funny, the commercial they have on TV where they show some things fade out in time and a gentleman's taking a shower and the walls of the shower are carpeted. And it's
Oh,
just the
no.
weirdest thing. But that would be something that would be from my era. So I grew up with that sort of stuff, and I enjoyed it. I love the cleaning aspects of carpeting, but it has evolved, and people are going over more to the hard floorings, from tile to stone, to regular VCT tile, and putting more area rugs down. So with that, we've had to change. And what's great is the boys are into it as far as the change. The tile, we do the tile cleaning, we do the hardwood floor cleaning, the stone, marble, polishing, all that sort of stuff, which is underneath. And then many times, most of the folks will have to put area rugs on top to give the warmth to the room or with decoration, much like you throw a throw pillow on a couch. You put the area rugs on the floor, and those area rugs get dirty, and people have to get them cleaned in time. They don't seem to be cleaned as often as the old carpeting used to be, wall to wall, but the area rugs still get cleaned. And also to the pets. As the population has sort of gone down and less children in the house, people are increasing as far as the number of pets in the house, which I love. I love pets as it is, no two ways about it. But pets tend to make mistakes, and they make mistakes on the carpeting, which looks like the grass outside. And we're happy to take care of it so that people don't get really upset with their pets and know that it can be taken care of. So these are the evolving things that have gone on with our business, from the cleaning that I really love and specialize in and everything, to what we do today is more the area rug cleaning, the hard stone tile type of cleaning, floor buffing and waxing. Beyond all that, over all the years, has been the upholstery cleaning. We've always been cleaning couches, chairs, sofas, things like that. and they get dirty as well, especially since they've gone more into the microfiber today. The microfibers are great because they everything will clean out of it, but not so easily by a homeowner, by a customer themselves. It is not easily cleanable for them. Where we can come in, that can be cleaned in almost everything from red juice drink stains, Fifi mistakes, children's spills, ice cream, a baby throw up. All of that can be cleaned out of today's fibers, and we have the equipment that can do that. So, since the early years of the 70s and 80s, right on through, upholstery cleaning is still there, and the fibers have gotten better. But they still really need to be cleaned by powerful equipment and safely. Because the thing with our business is more than anything is the water cleaning. Our base of cleaning is simply water. Sometimes we have to use various detergents to clean the spot out, but it's always rinsed out with water. We're not leaving a bunch of detergent in the material, whether it's carpeting or upholstery. We're not leaving solvents or in the material, anything that's bad or unhealthy. If they're allergic to water, they have a major problem. So the way we
Absolutely.
leave the material is that it's not going to be a problem to the 99.9% of the population. So upholstery cleaning has always been there over the years as well. The biggest thing recently, I became an inspector. I did inspections for the mills. I'm a certified senior inspector. And in the 90s to early 2000s, I was inspecting carpetings and why people were having problems with carpetings. And I would have the fun of being able to walk in and point the finger of blame to someone. And that's neat because you're getting paid to point that finger of blame. And 99% of the finger of blame was that the person who put the carpeting in or put the installation in didn't do the proper job. There are standards by which they need to put those things in. And if they don't do it, there's problems 2, 3, 5 years down the road. And so I'd come in and do those inspections. And we make the best carpeting, we make the best windows and doors in the world, as often I tell a customer and everything. But if the person who puts the windows in doesn't do the proper job, the windows leak, it lets air in, moisture comes in, you have mold problems, the door leaks, etc. Well, same thing for carpeting. If carpeting's not put in properly, there's problems. And we started solving all those problems in the early 2000s and got tired of just solving the problems for the industry, for the manufacturers and all. We actually started to do it on our own, and that has been the big core of our business has been carpet repair because we are the specialists in it. With carpeting, it is probably the single most forgiving material on your floor. If you put a gouge in hardwood, you've got to replace the hardwood. If you crack a tile in your kitchen, you've got to replace that tile, and then trying to get it to match the other tiles is very difficult and very cumbersome to replace. Carpeting is one of those things that there's always a way to blend it in and repair it, stretch it, and make it look new. Between the cleaning that we offer and the repairs, those things can be done. So, carpet repair has become a big part of our business because people have done such a bad job of installing it earlier from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now they're seeing the results of it, and yet for a minimal price, something in the hundreds, not in thousands, where repairs on other floor coverings would be in the hundreds. They can get their carpet repaired looking new and clean at the same time. So this has been sort of the evolution of the past 50 years of the business, and as the boys are very good at it. They've grown up their whole lives since they were 6, 7 years old doing this type of work. They know it. They're certified in 13 different areas we have up on the wall. So they know the trade very well. And it's pretty much the main trade that they know, that they've done their whole lives. So even though I say 50 years, the boys can say 25, 30 years that they've been doing this. So this is sort of the evolution of our business specifically, but really the whole industry of what started out as carpet cleaning, carpet repair has evolved into all these other floor cleaning type of services.
Well, and what you mentioned a couple of times is that professional equipment that you use and that professional equipment that has evolved over time since you started what you're doing. A very long time ago, my folks had to have a carpet stretched, and a fella came in with a tool that was a very manual kind of a situation. But that's not what you use. And you have said multiple times that the way that you do it with the equipment that you use is very important.
Yeah, the equipment. So getting into the carpet repair aspect is that people come in with that silly kicker that they see on TV advertised all the time. And their knee of that person is supposed to put a stretch on the carpeting that's going to make it tight enough. And it doesn't, because the industry itself says that it's not supposed to be done that way. So if they just go to what the industry standards are and the installers themselves do it properly, they would use a carpet power stretcher. It's an instrument that literally braces from one wall, grabs the whole carpet, and pulls it across almost like the fingers. You figure the teeth grab into the carpeting and pull it across the room and really make it what we call drum tight. That's the tightness that you can pop. As soon as you pull the carpet up, it pops back on you. And it's that drum tight. And people want to make excuses that, oh, I've had it for 15 years, or I've had it for 20 years, or we've raised 4 or 5 kids on the carpet. You could put a herd of elephants across the carpeting after years of doing that, and it should never have any bumps or ripples or problems in it. It is a durable, long term flooring product, and it's got to be put in properly. So, one of the instruments that we use is this carpet power stretcher versus nobody. I have seen nobody in the shore area, because I do know some people in North Jersey that are certified inspectors and installers, et cetera. And they do it up there. But pretty much from lighthouse to lighthouse in this area, nobody does it. And once again, for a few $100s, you get it done properly versus maybe $5,000 a room to replace the carpeting. For a few hundred, you're
Oh,
getting the
sure.
carpet back to the original condition and way it's supposed to look.
So that must be really exciting for people when they've looked at this carpet that's getting worse and worse and worse over the years, and they're thinking they need to replace it. Doesn't give a great first impression when people come in and there are ripples and bumps. You come in with your power stretcher, and that old carpet now looks new again.
Yeah. One of the things I try to say is please look at our reviews and the information that people will give. Yeah, so we get great reviews and they talk mainly about the boys, but they are able to come in and they give that brand new feeling. And the reviews, explode about that and how nice it looks. And also, too, the big one that has been over since through COVID and more recently has been people buying and selling. People selling their homes, so they don't want that dickering aspect of somebody coming in and saying, "Oh, I have to put all new carpeting in for 5,000, 10," and they want to take 20,000 off the cost of the home, where for a few hundred they can get all the bumps taken out. They can make the carpet look brand new, clean, etc. So for selling purposes, it winds up to be very good. And the people coming into a new home want to just maybe leave the flooring the way it is until they can make a decision to their own tastes and everything. So that can be repaired. So, these are things that the reviews show us time and time again. And that's only one aspect of all the equipment that we have that most don't. We have a huge warehouse here, and ours is just installation, cleaning, and repair versus a big warehouse of carpet products or linoleum products or things like that. We have a huge warehouse just for equipment. I go back to the days, like I say, where we had literally, I can remember installing carpeting on the walls and people wanted it because it made the room quiet and everything too. And
Yes.
if you go to most institutions, everything, they'll have a material over a box on the walls to sort of soundproof the room. Okay. Back then, it was carpeting
I
literally
didn't
on the
even
walls and
think of
everything.
that. When I was
Well,
in high school, I was a radio DJ, and we had like the egg carton kind of foam on the
boom,
walls,
boom,
but
that
that
was a
makes
big
sense.
yeah, same idea, the soundproofing and everything. But back then too was shampooers. You would shampoo the carpet. And if you could imagine shampooing your hair and not rinsing it, That's what shampooing did back in the 70s and 80s, 90s, was that shampoo the carpet, not give it a rinse and everything, and spread the dirt around so it would look clean, but it would resoil so quickly.
Mm.
Then gradually they went into small machines that could handle it, which were known as portables, and that would give it a steam rinse. So you'd put the shampoo into the carpeting or the detergent into the carpeting. Then you would rinse it out with these, portables. Now today they have evolved into these truck mounted units that are, self-contained. They have their own water. They heat the water up to 200, 220-degree temperature, put it under pressure, shoot it into the carpeting, with just a little bit of detergent if necessary, most of the time just water. And then they have the ability, the suction power to extract it back out and get 95, 98% of the water back out of the carpeting. So it just takes 2 or 3 hours after we're done. But these trucks are $150,000 now, but they're the equipment. And if you've done the evolution of the trade and everything, you've improved and improved into these equipment, and that's what the cleaning goes. Like I say, carpeting is less and less a floor covering today, but if you do have it, you want the best equipment to get the cleanest product, at the end. So it's a combination of having the right equipment for floor polishing and from carpet installation to carpet cleaning to upholstery cleaning. It's having that equipment along with the knowledge of the person and the right cleaning chemicals.
That makes sense. So then you had mentioned that over time, more and more often you run into households that are using area rugs. And when I was a kid, we always had an area rug, and periodically my mom would drag it out onto the driveway and
And beat it.
and
And beat it.
even hose it down and let it dry on a sunny day kind of thing. That's not how you do it. How do
No.
you clean an area rug
Yeah.
for your
No,
customers?
that's like I say, that has become a big part of the business now is the area rug cleaning. I have a collection of the old rug beaters that you're talking about. Those years they would throw it over a clothesline and you would beat it. And I have a collection of those rug beaters at the
Of
time.
course you
It's just a
do.
matter of way of getting the dust and dirt out and everything. Today, what we do is we can actually, the guys are strong. The men that we hire and everything are well trained and all, so they can come in, they can move the furniture safely, roll up the area rug. If they having problems with the padding, maybe it's getting worn out, or they need to puppy proof the padding because the urine might go through the carpeting, the area rug into the padding. So we have replacement padding that can be puppy proofed, and bring the area rug back to our shop. It's beaten. We have tremendous large beaters that are floor machines that just are really straps that just are flapping all over onto the carpeting to shake the dust and dirt out in the grates and actually settle the dust and dirt through the grates underneath of the carpeting. So getting that dust out, but on a flat surface, not on a vertical surface. Okay, horizontal surface versus a you know horizontal surface rather than a
It's
vertical
not
surface.
hanging, it's
Yeah,
laying flat.
exactly, hanging.
Yes.
So it's beaten first, then you actually can take it onto our racks, our flooring, and it has a drainage and everything to it. So we can spot clean any of the spots that are on it, especially urine. That's always the big one that we see so often. Many of our videos that you might catch on Facebook and YouTube, and you'll actually see the dirt and everything else that comes flowing off of the rugs, but you're hitting it with the detergent, then you're flooding them, literally flooding them, and then rinsing it and rinsing it and rinsing it. And with doing it that way on our floors here that have drainage and all, you can see how many times you need to do it to finally get it out. Sometimes you might only do it 1 or 2 times. We've had ones that we've done as many as 10 and 15 times of rinsing everything out of it until you have a clean rinse. Then you can, really extract all the moisture out of the area rug and hang it to dry. And then a couple hours of drying time. Then we can deodorize it if it needs to be. It can be scotch guarded, putting the protectant on it so that it will hopefully prevent some of Fifi's problems from getting back on it. And so it can be deodorized, scotch guarded. rolled up. Even the fringe can be cleaned up very nicely because some people want that original white fringe look on the area rugs. Some, like the little bit more linen look, off white look and everything. Whatever, we can do that onto the rugs as well. Roll them up and bring them back and send them back up if they want. So it's a whole package. It most of the time can take a week, but it can sometimes can take as much as 2 weeks for this whole turnaround that will occur. But it is a very thorough way to clean it, and you know that everything has been rinsed out of it.
That's fantastic. I've seen that process
Yeah,
on video, and
yeah,
the fact that it's so saturated over and over and over again, you could never do that in your home or
no,
on your driveway to the
no.
extent that it can
Yeah,
be
you wouldn't
done.
want to. You wouldn't
No,
want
you
to. That
wouldn't
would
want to.
just not be fun. Would just not be a fun thing to do. No.
No, no. So tell us a little bit about your customers. Who do you enjoy helping the most? Who are you able to help the most? And what are the types of environments that you work in? Do you just help homeowners?
I would say our ratio is about 80% residential, 20% commercial. So we are getting more and more into the commercial work because they might have area rugs, once again, over their tile floors or things like that. And the area rugs need to be picked up and cleaned. But I would say 80% of it is residential. Once again, the evolution of my time period and what I see today was at that time, the senior communities were exploding in the Ocean County, Monmouth County areas. I think last count, we were well over 200 senior communities in this area. And it was a customer that was home that could be reached and discussed at the time and everything. And you could set up appointments. And we're mainly trying to serve those customers. That's where the base of the business was laid out, was residential senior communities at that time. We've seen the evolution of that going into I do find generally the 20, 30-year-olds will try to take care of it themselves until they make enough mistakes that they realize it's not worth doing it themselves. But our real package has been now more between the 30s and 60s. The homeowner with family, generally one or two kids, but also to the pets. The pets have really exploded. People love their cats, their dogs. We've even had ferrets that we've had to clean up after ferrets. All sorts of great stories that we have with the pets and all. But those need to be cleaned from the floor because they make their mistakes there as well. And it is the base of our business now is that sort of middle of the road type of customer.
Well, and
The
the
yes, the,
pets generally come with deodorizing services as
yes.
well, right?
Yes, and
That's
we love it. Okay, we got to admit, definitely we love it. Those are additional services that we can provide, and the customer has to make that decision and everything. Just to give a crazy example, you were saying maybe some stories and everything. One of the most recent ones, we just had a water damage where the pipes broke on a customer. They were down in Florida, and we heard about it and everything. They asked us to come in, and since we were the specialists for carpet repair, carpet, area rug repair and cleaning, they asked us to remove it. So we're removing this carpet over a runner, over the steps and everything else. It had a zebra look to it. Okay, that zebra pattern, it's something
sure.
that they really love. And we got it out. We're still in the process of working on it, needing to be cleaned, new padding, etc. And I'm looking at it, and it's maybe 50, 75 yards of carpeting. After we get it and we realize the package that we're working on, the customer decided to tell us that the value of the runner, this is an area rug runner in the hallway and over the steps, is over $50,000. So we've been, asked by the insurance company, by the guys that are handling the water damage
Sure.
themselves, and everyone else to be able to be the experts on cleaning this up, but also hopefully on the repairs aspect of it. But it's amazing how some things can be cost way beyond what you think is logical. Uh, so here was one that was like, wow, I would not have guessed, but Everything has its own value.
Were you able to clean it up?
And we're able to clean it. We're still working on the repair aspects. It
Okay.
may not be satisfactory to the customer's preference and everything, or to the insurance company. So that's all still got to be worked out. But they called us in to take care of this in a beautiful home. It was a historical home in Rumson, and we're trying to do the best we can with it.
Oh, good luck. I hope that it
Yes,
comes out
yeah.
beautifully. I can say that you were speaking about your reviews before, and you are so well loved in the community as far as not only the reviews that may show on Google, but you're constantly being referred in local Facebook groups. I see it all the time.
Mhm.
Um, and the results of the jobs that you provide are important. And so that's what you were kind of describing about the review contents earlier. But the fact that they also kind of gush about the boys and about the
Yes.
service that you provide,
Yeah.
that really speaks to the customer service and the relationships that you're forming with these customers who come to you again and again. Repeatedly, I keep seeing, I've used them for years
Yeah.
when it comes to GM Carpet Care.
Some of the stories I have, and it's crazy when they call back, and I'll say, "Oh, hey, Joan, how you doing?" And I think of it. I look at the long history that we have with the customer, and they go back prior to my children, to my sons that are running the business now, prior to them even being born. Because you got to figure, we started this business in the '70s and '80s. My boys were born more in the '90s. As things evolve.
Sure.
But I have a longer relationship with many of my customers than I do with my own children, my own sons, and now grandchildren. That relationship's been there a long time, and the trust. It's just a matter of picking up the phone, and you just know automatically either the phone number or the name that comes up on the caller ID. Your comfort level is right back as like, okay, I'll be there. Just tell me when to be there, etc. It's
So
it's that long term relationship.
how did this begin for you? You've said that this started for you in the 70s and 80s, but did little Mark Case always want to work with flooring?
Not so much flooring, but I do think it was always in the cleaning aspects. We were a military family,
Okay.
and back in those days, I've talked to so many military families over the years and everything. Today, the military is very fortunate in that many times they'll get to an installation and they'll stay 5, 10, 15 years at one location. Back in those days that I was growing up, my years at the Air Force and all, was every 2 years you packed up and moved. Okay,
Right.
and there would be two boxes on your bed, and you knew that you had to get all your stuff down to those two boxes. You had 2 weeks to pack up, you had 1 week to get to the new installation, and you had 2 weeks to unpack. Dad would always have to report to service and everything, so it was my mother and I that had to do the setup, the cleaning, the arrangement. That in turn has led us into another whole realm of business. We are professional organizers in cleanup trades and clutter cleanups and stuff like that. But back to the original, was the cleaning that you have to do for your home installation to allow you to leave. That we would often get into the cleaning service for other people in the military,
Oh.
and we were just constantly doing a variety of cleaning services, made money, and it was just such a regular thing that we were doing, and then getting the new place ready again, organizing that, cleaning, etc. So I think it just led in itself into a natural aspect that at that time carpet cleaning was a big thing in the '70s,
Sure.
and went into that, and it just became a lifestyle. Also, went on myself to college and Monmouth College, and I just lit up and became on fire when it came to business management, business relationships. Ethics was a big part that I loved in at that time, and graduated from Monmouth College, and just took that management degree, and just I got to do my own thing, and that's where I started with it.
Great. So you went from moving from place to place to place, settling down at the Jersey Shore and staying here. So
Yeah, that's been strange. That has been
what
strange
are
for me to
some
stay in
of
one place.
what are some of your favorite things to do and what do you love the most about being in that Ocean Monmouth County area?
I absolutely love the shore. The thing that has happened is not only a home here in Tom's River, which becomes center area, have another in Cape May that I just love the entire Jersey Shore, being at the beach, the sand, the sunshine, and everything. The people are just great. I love the shore area. I like visiting the mountain areas. I love visiting other areas of the country and everything, but I know the world loves to make its fun of New Jersey, but I love New Jersey. We're
Me
well
too.
located. 1 hour to New York, 1 hour to Philly, 1 hour to Atlantic City. Our location is fantastic. Being at the shore, we don't have the congestion of North Jersey, but we're located right here. And the participation that you get with the customers, you get there and you get to know them a little bit at the beginning of the job. You do the whatever the services that you're providing, and really have that relationship that I can remember many of my customers before their kids came along, and then the
Yeah,
kids came. Now I'm cleaning the carpets for their kids and everything. So it's interesting that how things have evolved, but just absolutely love the Jersey Shore and the
it's
great being close to
community.
my family.
Definitely. So, speaking of that community that you build with your customers, I know that giving back in your community is very important to you. So, do you want to talk about any nonprofits or organizations that you support?
Absolutely. I always that's one of the key things. The initials, if you notice, it's not Case Carpet Cleaning or Mark's Carpet Cleaning or anything of that sort. I actually, since the very beginning, it has been known as GM Carpet. The G is always above the M, and it's basically meant to be God and Mark. And that I always have looked at it from the aspect that God is my senior partner. He is truly the person that I try to answer to. You get some customers that can be grumbly and not happy with what you do, and you have to always look at it that you're trying to please your senior partner all the time. And that's the way I've always tried to look at it. I'm trying to please him. And in the process, 95% of the people will be pleased in the process. Beyond that has been my fate. I had the boys that are in the business. Their names are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Most folks maybe have heard those names before, and it
Absolutely.
tells you the importance of those names to me as well. And that ethic that we try to have, that moral ethic within the business. But then also, too, I've always been extremely involved in my churches, originally involved in the Episcopal Church and always being a trustee, a warden for 35 years. Built a church at one point our church went into the ocean, and we wound up rebuilding it after Hurricane Sandy.
Wow.
So we built a $1.4 million church. And so that was a real project after the whole mess of Sandy here at the Jersey Shore. And then also been very involved ever since, trying to study and involved in church groups and everything. Big one that we work with a lot is Keswick rehabilitation out in the Whiting area, and working with the guys that are coming out. They're just great guys. And when they finally have that ability to change their lives from various addictions, um, they just come on fire, and they're just the greatest people to be around. I have so many friends from the Keswick environment that have come back into the world and are great, in their service to the community again, and from plumbers to electricians to various services they provide. So yes, very involved in the services, with my church and everything. But hopefully that in the back of people's minds says the ethical, moral basis to which you're always answering, not maybe necessarily to the customer, but necessarily above and beyond the customer.
Excellent. Yes, I know that that's important to you. This episode will be airing March the 10th. So, is there anything that's happening for GM Carpet Care now? What's coming up? What do you hope that people know more about right now?
Yeah, no, and it's interesting that you say it that way. Spring and fall has always been our main two seasons, as many of the trades are. The construction trades fire up in the spring and everything. So spring and fall has always been, I would say 85% of our business is in the spring and the fall areas. and spring cleaning, that attitude of, taking the rug and throwing it over the clothesline and beating it to clean and everything. And it is part of our heritage, is the Judeo-Christian heritage of Easter. You're cleaning the house and getting ready for the spring that's coming in. And so things have exploded for that as well. From one aspect of the house to the other, we can take care of it, from upholstery to draperies to carpets to area rugs to repairs that need to be done. So that's always a fun time that you come out of it, especially this year, come out of those doldrums
Oh,
of all the snow that we get during the winter months. All that snow and salt gets tracked in, and it's ground into those area rugs. It's ground into the carpeting, and it has to be cleaned out. You have to get it out for the safety of your family, of your kids and your pets and everything. So that all has to be taken off the floors, off the area rugs, off the carpeting. And it's always an exciting time, and the phones start to light up. And it's just a fun time. And the guys just, running around taking care of that. And just pleasing the people, that we can show them what's great with our type of work is a carpenter or contractor will come in, and he will take a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks even, to do his project and then he can show the with our work, we're able to show that difference right away. Within 15 minutes, a half an hour, I can show the customer what it looked like before, and I can show the customer what it looks like now, and instantly show them that change. And that's what makes them feel good. And the instantaneous microwave attitude that we have in today's
yes,
world is that instantly I get to see that
before and
result and be
after.
happy over it. Yes. So yes,
Transformations are fun.
spring is coming, and I think when this comes out, I think the time change, the daylight savings time change will have just occurred as
Love
well.
that.
And so there'll be a lot of mental change of mind that snow is melting, things need to be cleaned up. Let's get ready for the summer and really kick off the season. So I'm
So
looking
this is a
forward to it.
great time for people to call Mark at GM Carpet Care.
Absolutely.
Get on the schedule now, early, before
Yes.
everybody else starts to call. How do
Right.
people get in touch with you, Mark? Let's let them
Yeah,
know.
like I say, we based out of Toms River and the Cape May areas. Our main phone number, 732-929-9669. Used to have a jingle back in the 80s and 90s that we ran on WOBM radio. So I've had actually customers that will repeat the jingle back to us when we're
Oh
coming into the
my
home, that they grew
goodness.
up with it. But anyway, is 732-929-9669, and be happy to find out, exactly what the needs are. The girls will ask a lot of questions. Our staff here in the office are very educated, and they are many times certified in the cleaning areas that the guys are certified on the road. So they ask those intelligent questions to you. And a lot of times people just want the price. Yes, okay, the price is important almost to everybody. It's based upon these things, these questions that I have for you, and that we're meeting your needs, not just, is it a basic need? Is it a really thorough need? Is it a repair need? What are those needs? So calling that number, speaking to our staff, whether it's myself, the boys, or the girls that we have here in the office, we can answer those questions for you. And sometimes people just need, questions answered, that even for a spot or a spill. Okay, I'm a certified textile master cleaner. And if you have that question of how to get that ice cream stain out, how to get that red ink stain out, how to get that lipstick stain out, we will answer those questions. And maybe you can take care of it yourself if it's something simple, because I do see that attitude in today's, what we call the millennials and everything, that they want to try to take care of it themselves and see if they can. We're happy to, give advice, talk to you on the phone. I'm a chatter, I'm a
That's
talker at the end
terrific.
of the
Yes,
job. We're
use Mark as a resource. Give him a
yes.
call, ask him your questions, and if it turns out you're having trouble with it, he can come and help.
And then, yes, hopefully, if it doesn't work out, hopefully the people you're going to call to take care of it right from there. But
That's
yeah,
super.
feel
And if
free.
you are outside of business hours, you don't have a chance to call, you can find Mark online at
Yes.
gmservicesnj.com.
Okay.
That's the
It just
website.
once again it shows my age. My age is more the phone, where today's world is the internet and the web page, and that's where my son's world is much more centered to all the other social networks that they are constantly putting in and trying to answer questions for. That's their world. But yeah, mine has always been the phone.
You're
So
doing a great
yeah,
job, Mark. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I think this was a great episode. Is everybody ready for our giveaway? You could win a free gift card to Spire Coffee House. They have 2 locations in Toms River. One is down in Silverton, one is right there in downtown Toms River. Um, I have a question in mind to ask our audience. Is it okay if I ask my question?
absolutely. Go for it.
Okay.
Go
Yes.
for it.
I would like to know if you know the answer to this question. Please send me an email and we'll choose a winner before the next episode. What are the names of Mark's 4 boy children? Please put that in
Fantastic.
an email and send it to Lisa at shopjerseyshore.com. You could put GM Carpet Care in the subject line. Send that to me and we will choose a winner and announce it before the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me, Mark.
And if you call us, you may actually get to meet one of them. So that would be cute.
That'll be great.
Right.
Okay, that's all the time we have. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching and listening wherever you are. And remember to shop Jersey Shore.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.